Hello there, my name is Chris Palmer. In today's off-page SEO video, I want to go ahead and walk you through step by step on how you can create highly effective, high quality, highly topical, 100% contextual backlinks that are niche specific to any niche, any realm, anything that you want. It could be done any region. It does not matter. I don't want to waste time. You're going to need a few things before you start. Now, one of the things that you're going to need, and this will be a small little crash course into HTML websites. So something that I like to use that's relatively easy to utilize is W3. All right, so W3 School HTML template. All right. Now, why that particular site when there's Bootstrap and there's all types of free HTML site themes? The reason I like this one is because they have a very cool and unique editor, which you can throw anything you want in there. So I'm showing you, hey, here's an editor. Here's also some really cool templates. Plus, I really like W3. There's a lot of great information on this website. I'm sure you've heard of it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get inside of here. We first have to start off with our template. All right, so let's get inside of here and go on down the list. Let's pick something pretty. Let's pick something that really fits our mood. I think that this is going to do it. We have a waterfall. So what you will click on is try it yourself. Now, once inside the try it yourself, you will see the image along with some HTML body text. Now that you have your HTML website, this is where you're going to go ahead and place your contextual and relevant backlinks. But wait, you're probably thinking, you're missing a few steps. And you're right, this is just the beginning. So the next step after that, if you already have a Microsoft account, excellent. If you do not, you will need to go to azure.cloud.com. All right, I could be wrong. Let me just double check here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Azure portal. That's what it is. My mistake. So you need to go ahead and log into the Microsoft Azure portal. Okay, if you do not have an account, sign up. They will give you a complimentary credit, which will be more than enough. I mean, way over what you need in order to get started. You can actually get right in here complimentary for a very, very long time. With that out of the way, this is the Azure portal. Now, once you come to azure.microsoft.com and you have your account, you go through the process, sign up, all of that type of fun stuff. The very next element that you'll need to do is go ahead and sign in. Now, once you're signed in, you'll need to head over. You have your account where you logged in with your email. Now it's time to actually go to the Azure portal. So let's go ahead and go over there together. So far, now that we have our Microsoft account, we have our HTML template, we're logging into the portal. Now, unfortunately, I will have to go ahead and log in here quick, so bear with me before we get into the rest of the tutorial. Take note of this. Now, as we get inside of here, no thanks, I like passwords. Now that we're inside of the portal, you will need to do a small bit of setup. Let me go ahead and walk you through the steps that you'll need in order to get this contextual backlink, this highly relevant, this topical contextual backlink, this high quality link. So what you'll need to do is you first will need to get inside of here and create a storage account. Let me go ahead and show you how to do this. So you'll click on create. Now, once inside of create, you'll have your subscription. That's going to stay the same. You're then going to go to your resource group. Well, you can name this resource group anything that you want. All right. It could also be changed later. For me, it's just going to be Chris Palmer SEO. Now, the storage account name, this is something that you want to be mindful of. Whatever you put inside of here is going to be contained within your URL. Now, there are multiple ways that you can go ahead and take this URL and utilize a different type of domain, like a custom domain. But as it stands, as I'm showing you today, if you want to get the high DR 93, 92 link, also high UR score, if you want to start off with this link, you need to be mindful what you put in here. So for this particular instance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and utilize SEO training. All right, so it's SEO training. Okay. All right, so SEO training. Now, the next piece is the region. Now, the region, this is where you'll get a magnitude of different IP ranges, depending on where you are, depending on if it's your very first particular link that you're creating or website that you're creating. You might want to get it very close to you in order to cut down on latency time. Latency time is the time that it takes to communicate with the server. However, if you're utilizing this particular platform for scale, say you're a local business, you have multiple locations, you want to create cloud buffers, which is what I'm showing you how to do right now. If you want to create multiple cloud buffers or multiple tiers with this, right, then you may want to start switching regions. This will also switch up your IP ranges. Yes, they're C-class, so this is a good thing, but with that out of the way, for me, today, we're just going to go ahead and pick US East 2. Now, this is going to be standard. Also, price ranges change depending on region. So this is going to be standard. We're going to go ahead and click on next, which is advanced. You will want to go ahead and leave this as it is. Next is networking. So this is public endpoint, and then private, Microsoft network routing, internet routing. So there's data protection, tags, review, everything else will stay the same. We're going to go ahead and create our storage account. Now, we will need to go ahead and wait for this momentarily. All right. So as it's creating our storage account, which please note, this was SEO training, as you can see here. As it's creating this, what we're going to do is go inside of here. It's operation details. We're going to head on back, and we are waiting for it inside of here. So let's just take a look here. So it's not here quite yet. So in the meantime, this is an absolutely phenomenal time to go over to the HTML website that we're going to go ahead and build in HTML. Very easy, very simple. Let's go over there now so we can get our contextual backlink. Along with that, make it highly relevant from the URL all the way through the contextual linking. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that as we wait for our storage account. So we're going to head on over here. We are inside the editor. This is how easy HTML is. It is so easy. I talk to SEOs all the time. This is very, 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 very simple. So once we get this here, all right, we start off with a template. Why? Because there are some small nuances. But once it's already laid out and you have the template, you don't have to type it all out, which is what I very much, just because I can doesn't mean I want to, right? So with that out of the way, or with that said, the very first thing that we're mostly concerned with, I'm going to point these items out. So one of the most important elements is going to be the title. The title is what's up here inside this bar. Above the URL, it's up here. That is called your title tag. This is quite notably the most important element on the page. We are trying to make a very, very relevant backlink. To have a relevant backlink, it takes a lot of factors, but one of the factors is having a highly relevant page. So not only is our site about our topic, right? Remember I put SEO training in there, but now our page is about it. And don't forget, the anchor text is going to be about SEO training. So it's highly relevant all the way through. All right. So let me go ahead and show you this. This also is very effective for link buffering, and link buffering can be looked at in multiple ways. There's link buffering where I'm buying cheap links and passing power through, but there's also link buffering in the element of I have a dog site that's very high powered. I want to get a link, but my site's about SEO training. So what do? You put an intermediary in between in order to pass relevant power. I can get the power, but my link coming in is going to be highly relevant. All right. There's multiple names for this. What it's actually called is called theme vectoring. Theme vectoring. I've made videos on this, but with that out of the way, let's start with the title. So the title of this page, again, we're going to just make this as easy and fast as possible. It's going to be SEO training. We're going to come on down. You can go ahead and leave this stuff inside of here. This right here is going to be your font. This here is the CSS. It needs this little bit of CSS. This here is the width. This is perfectly fine. This is the font. If you want to change the font, all you have to do is look up the font code and then add that in here. All right. So this is our height, our background image. If you want to add another image, you can. But for this particular example, we are not going to. So we will go down the page. All right, so let's scroll on down the page here. And then there's coming soon, which is your H1. Now your H1 after your title and the URL is the next most important element on the page. So of course, we want to contain our primary keyword along with some LSI and a variation. Let me go ahead and show you how this is done. So what you're going to want to do is our primary is SEO training. Okay, so SEO training. All right. So SEO training, TRAINING, SEO training with Chris Palmer Marketing. Okay. Marketing is certainly an LSI. Okay. So we have that. We weren't able to get anything much more in there, but next is going to be this center, which is going to be 35 days left. Now, this looks like it's going to be some type of countdown or something along those lines. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. You see how easy this is? All right. Once that's done, we're going to scroll on down here. We could see here that here is a link powered by, as you can see down here on the left-hand side, this is where we're going to put our contextual link for this particular tutorial. All right. So what we want to do is we want to come inside of here. We will want to go ahead and put our URL. So for me, it's going to be SEO.chrispalmermarketing.com. So this website is all about SEO training. That's the URL of this particular site I'm sending it to, or the title tag, I should say. So with that out of the way, it's SEO.chrispalmermarketing.com. And I'm going to go ahead and need that, so we will get rid of that. All right, moving right along, powered by. So here what we're going to do is we're just going to put Chris Palmer SEO. Okay, so this is pretty much a very, very, very simple page. Now, just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like, you can see it says run. We have Chris Palmer SEO training. This says logo, so you could go ahead and put a image inside of here if you wanted. But for sake of video, we're just going to go ahead and just keep this. So the next step is going to be from the very top, highlight it all. Okay, you're going to, once that's highlighted, you will right click, copy. You're going to open up a notepad, a simple notepad, open that up and then paste it in. You don't need Notepad++, just simple notepad. Now, what you will need to do is come up here to file inside of your notepad and then save as. Okay, we're going to go to the desktop downloads. You're going to save it as index.html. All right, so that's index.html. You're going to save it as all files, all right, and then click save. You're going to click yes, and then the very next step is you're going to open up one more, but this time what you want to do is you're going to go ahead and just highlight this particular wording right here. Okay, you're just going to grab this and you're going to open up yet another notepad page just like this. You're going to paste that inside of here, Chris Palmer. I'm just going to put marketing. All right, and then we're going to put yet another link, but this time we're going to send it to a different page so we can maximize the power. We're also going to just go ahead and change this out to SEO services. Okay, but this time up at the top, what you want to write is, this is a 404 error page. Please click link below. All right, so now what we have done here is we have created, okay, let me just come up here, doc type HTML. We're just going to copy this. We're going to bring it over. So what we're doing here is we are getting the, we're naming it that it's a doc type HTML. The title of the page is 404 error. Okay, this is a 404 error page. Please click the link below. We're putting Chris Palmer Marketing, and then I'm putting my link inside of there. The very next step is see how this is a closeout HTML. All we're going to do is grab the div body HTML closeout. We're going to copy that. we're going to bring it over here to the 404 page. You just go ahead and just paste that right inside of there. So you start with your doc type, you have an open-ended HTML, and then you're ending with the closed-end HTML. Now, the only difference with this page is we're going to save as now, all right? And this time you're going to put 404.html, all right? Now, you want to save it to all files. You want it to be a HTML type format. So what you're going to do is just click save. Click yes. Now we have our 404 and our main page. Now, just as a side note, if you wanted to create multiple levels, all right, multiple subfolders, subpages, subdomains, you can do whatever you'd like within here. You can create multiple pages. You would just have to interlink them on each of the notepads. All right, but that's a little bit outside the scope of today's video. I just want to show you how to get the link, but you needed to have these page and the 404 set up before we could proceed. Now that we have both of those elements saved, now we can close this all out. Okay, and we're going to come back into our Azure account, our Microsoft Azure account. Now, once we're inside of our Microsoft Azure account, the next step is we want to go to our service bucket that we have just created. So for me, it was SEO training. Okay, so just so you haven't lost track, we're on the home page. You see, as soon as you log into portal.azure.com, you're going to click on storage accounts, and inside of the storage accounts, the one that you created, whatever you named it, it will be sitting here as a storage account. All you simply have to do is click on SEO training, which is for me. And once you're inside of your service account, the very next step that you need to do is you have to click on this place right here. It says Blob Service. Okay, so click on Blob Service. Once inside of Blob Service, yours is going to say the same exact thing as mine. You see how it says money sign logs? What you need to do is create a container inside of your Blob Service. This is how you do it. So you're going to go up here to the plus sign container. You're going to click this plus sign. And what you need to do here, this is imperative. Click money sign. So it's going to be shift number 4 or money sign. And then you're going to write web. Okay, so money sign web. The next step is public access level. It's right underneath the name on the right hand side. What you have to do here is go to this drop down menu, and then all you have to do is blob anonymous read access for blobs only, container anonymous read access for containers and blobs. So click on container, okay, and then we're going to go to create. So now we have our logs and we have our web. All right, now inside of this web here, all right, where you just created this money sign web, all you have to do is click on that, and it's going to bring you to this page. That money sign web is where you're going to be storing the actual web pages. Those HTML pages, this is where you're going to be storing it. So all you simply have to do here is inside of here, go to upload. Okay, you're going to go to select file, and then those 2 files that you just created, you need to upload them. So that's the 404 and also the index.html page. So we're going to go to upload, and you're going to see both of these come inside of here. Now, we have our website opened up. We have our cPanel like blob service. Blob service is kind of like cPanel in a way. It's a way to look at it. It's all housed within our service account. So now we have our 404 error page, and we have our index.html. Now, what you need to do is come up here to your service account. So click on mine is SEO training. Then go back one more, go to your storage accounts. Click on your very particular storage account name that you just created. Inside of here, instead of clicking on blob service, which we just did to create that and upload, now what you need to do is go to capabilities. You can see priorities, monitoring, and then capabilities. All you have to do is click on capabilities and then click on static website. So just click on this, go to static website, and now you enable it. Now you have to name those 2 files that you just created. So if you remember, all I did was index.html, and then the error page, error document path is 404.html. So that's our index or our website, and then also our 404 page. That's also on our website. So in case there's a problem, sends them to the 404. Main website that's going to be showing and housing our highly relevant, topically relevant backlink, that's the index.html page. So now all we have to do is click save. Okay. And now you're presented primary endpoint. This is your backlink. This is your new website. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like. Why is this loading? Oh, coming soon. The pictures didn't load. The pictures didn't load. I must have erased the colors. It's here. Come on, Chris. We have our DA92. This particular one actually has a very high, well, mid shelf. It doesn't matter. It's just a buffer page anyway, but we go to follow. It's not. Yep, and it's all the way down here at the bottom. So SEO training, so anchor text, URL, and then as you can see up here to the top, it says SEO training, Chris Palmer marketing. So title, URL, and then you could possibly, if you wanted to, put some content within the page. So the body content is relevant, the title, the URL, the H1 is relevant. We have our H1 here, as you can see here. I don't know what I wrote. Did I write anything or did I just leave it? I probably just left it. And then I have down here SEO training. So this is a do follow backlink on a DA. I think the DR is like 90 or 93. So it's a DR, very high powered website, totally topical. What's great about this very particular little method of doing this is very simple. You also have other options available to you. Okay. And what I mean by options is remember when we set these up, if you come inside your storage account, when we were setting that up, okay, we had the capability, because inside of here we have our primary East 2. You can also come in there, you can do any region you want. I think they have like, what, 40 some regions. So you could do China, you could do Thailand, you could do USA, you could do multiple different types of USA, Central, Mountain, East, whatever you want. You can make a highly relevant, high-powered buffer link, a cloud buffer link, completely complimentary. This is from beginning to end. I wanted to walk you through that process. All right. So my name is Chris Palmer. If you have any questions related to this tutorial, if you have questions about how to get backlinks, if you have any questions on cloud backlink building, creating link vectors, creating theme vectoring websites, anything, feel free. Go ahead, ask in the section below, and I always look forward to seeing you in the next Off Page SEO, how to create high quality backlinks video. I'll see you in the next one.